guys. Welcome to another Wisdom of the Grandmaster. First, I'm going to address the term Grandmaster. Just why not? I took the title Grandmaster in October of 2010 when I became a grandfather. I had the rank before that, because rank in our system for Grandmaster, is 7th degree. But I didn't really want the title. But I upheld a bit of a tradition there, because in the underworld, the mafia, you cannot be a godfather unless you are a godfather. Right? So I thought it was fitting. Today I want to talk about what inspires you. Passion. Many, many years ago, 30 years, could be more, a little bit more, I'm not really sure, but it's right around 30 years ago. I was working midnight shift at Chrysler, and I went on the shift. I'm going to say this straight up. I went on the shift to get away from my wife. I was very unhappy in that marriage. And if I worked midnights, we didn't have to sleep in the same time. Now, I have nothing bad to say about her as a person. As a wife, yes. As a person, no. She's a good person. But we weren't right for each other. Very young. But I took the midnight shift, and I knew in order to survive it, that on the weekends, if I wasn't working, I needed to stay up all night. So I did, like Saturday night. Never worked on a Saturday night, because that's Sunday, right? It was double time. I would stay up all night and go to bed when she got up. But I remember on vacation time for shutdown and things, I never changed shifts. If we were doing something with kids, like vacation, I just didn't get any sleep, is all it was. Right? I would go to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning and get up at noon to do the things with the kids we had to do, rather than getting up at 5. But I was in my 30s too. Mind you, I don't get a lot of sleep now either. I get about 5 hours a night, which is lows. I remember one night, though, and I mean, here I am. I've been in the martial arts for 10 years at least at this point in time. Loved the martial arts. But it was life I was lacking passion for, generally. And they opened up a Blockbuster Video, if you remember that place, down the Main Street from where I was living. And the ex always spent Sunday evenings watching X-Files as I was working on a computer, because I had a bulletin board system. And she used to tell me, you got to check this show out. You like it. You're a conspiracy theorist. You love this show. Well, I finally did check it out at one point in time. She was right. I did like the show a lot. So one night, I'd gone and rented a bunch of VHS tapes before they closed. And I was sitting in the living room. Had a really nice TV, 35-inch TV, back when the next size up was a projection TV. And a rather expensive VCR, 4 heads. Nice setup I had there. I'm sitting there and I'm watching X-Files. I remember, because I looked at the clock, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. If you pay attention, that time comes up a lot. Right? And as I'm looking at it, of course, if you're in Q show, it comes up as beginning of Lung. And I'm thinking to myself, is this all there is? This would have been 97 when this particular point happened. Summer of 97. By that Christmas, I had ended my marriage and had moved on to try to do something to regain my passion for life. Because the idea of, in another 20 years, as it would have been, no, it wouldn't have been another 15 years as it would have been. I'd have had 30 years in Chrysler, and I would get a pension and retire. I knew I would be dead very soon after that, because life just didn't have a point. Today, life has a lot of point. I am very passionate about my life. I love my life. And that's something that if you don't love your life, you have to be honest with yourself about that too, right? It's something you need to take action on. In 2020, many things were tried to destroy the fabric of cultures, societies, the world. Now, depending on who you are, you may be sitting there going, oh, here we go again, right? Just bear with me because I'm not interested in discussing any of that. Just to make the point, the world changed dramatically at that time. And people, many people, most people lost their passion. People lost a lot. They're losing a lot right now. As they lie to you and the economy is imploding, especially in the United States. What you see in the physical, real world and what they tell you are completely different things. I have my conversations with my sister Kara, and she gets the news from that side of the world. I get the news which is more like the truth on this side of the world. It's certainly not perfect, but it's almost as if two different worlds exist right now. So where does passion come from? How do you ignite passion? There's many people. One of the problems today that we see is in relationships between men and women. A lot of infidelity in those, right? And there's a reason. The passion's gone. Because they have managed to conflate the idea to people that sex was the marriage. I'll tell you, if your life revolves around sex, you're going to get bored really soon. Right? That's 1/10 of 1% of what a relationship is. It's important, but it's not what it's about. And they flip that. Everything today has been inverted. Lying has become virtue. All you got to do is look at the left. And now I'm not political because I sit in the middle. But the reason I'm stating that is they're the ones right at this moment who are at the extreme end of the scale. The right have been there before too. Problem is that people believe this shit. I will tell you categorically, what's wrong with the world is politically based. And if you think the politics can solve that, you're insane. You cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. Now, we look at relationships again. Passion can go out of a relationship very quickly because the focus is wrong. In my case, the woman in my life needs to be my best friend. She needs to be my confidant. She needs to be someone that I'm glad to see, someone I enjoy talking to, someone I enjoy working with, someone I enjoy walking with, someone I wish sharing stupid jokes with. And that doesn't exist anymore because everybody's too busy thinking of this. Right? And man, I feel bad for you. You're missing life because that's not what it's about. It is to an extremist. Right? Absolutely is to an extremist. And why is that? Because they have no passion. They have no life. A political ideologist has no life. They are passionate about that. They're obsessed. There's a huge difference between passionate and obsessed. If I'm obsessed with the martial arts, I would blow my children off to go do something. If I'm passionate about the martial arts, I can sit back objectively and go, you know what, I can't do that tonight because I got something going on with my kids, but I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Big difference. See, this is, passion has a base in values. Obsession has a base in narcissism. And wow, we got lots of narcissists today. I look at the people on YouTube with these huge followings, and I don't see the attraction to them. They're just narcissistic, right? I think as of right now, I have 2,062 people subscribe to this channel, and I get 10 views. It's all right. I'm doing this as a record for myself more than anything. I'm recording my own thoughts, because speaking out loud helps you to work out your thoughts. And then I'll see somebody who does a video on something that's like, and tens of thousands, sometimes millions of views, and I can't get through 10 minutes of this thing. And they aren't passionate for what they do. They're greedy for what they're doing. They're looking for this. If you look today, if you are exploring the alternative media today, which I have, they used to be pretty good at delivering some very good factual information, but today it's all about likes and clicks. They don't care about what they're saying anymore. And that's too bad. They've lost the passion for what they do. Maybe they don't see a way out, but it's funny because everything goes in a cycle. There's always an out. It's like when somebody says, well, I had no choice. Yes, you did. Both choices may have been shitty, but you had a choice. Because you always have a choice. Just because they're all bad doesn't mean if you don't have a choice. Because that's the nature of this reality. The nature of the reality is it's dualistic. There can never only be one choice. Right? So what did I do to get my passion back? Well, I opened a dojo. Because I do love martial arts. Worked for a while. But it was a lot of work. A lot of heartache, too. A lot of heartache. Because when you're dealing with people, and we dealt with a lot of people, you're dealing with a lot of differing opinions, and that's fine. Because in the dojo, there's only one opinion, mine. Right? And it's about the art, not about anything else. But you put a lot into somebody and then they just kind of vanish because they lose their passion. Passion can be very fleeting. I lost passion for the martial arts from burnout probably around 2011. Not long after I got back from Romania the first time. Part of that reason was I did not want to be back from Romania because I fell in love with the country the moment I stepped off the plane almost. And I've been to other countries. It wasn't like this was, something new. And it was the people that caused that. It wasn't anything else. It wasn't the scenery, even though the scenery is astronomically beautiful. It wasn't that. It was the people. But you see, today I'm very passionate about the country, as you can see. You ain't going to find a Canadian flag here. Ever. I have hoodies that had a cross with a Canadian and a Romanian flag. I blacked out the Canadian flag. And I do that because I have a very big issue with the country. And the funny thing is, if I say something like that, you go, well, yeah, the government's terrible. Yeah, it's not the government I have an issue with. It's the apathy of the people I have an issue with because they have no passion for anything but going to Tim Hortons and bitching about their problems and not getting off their big, fat, lazy asses and doing something about their problems. I think I summed that up fairly well. And if I insulted any Canadians, please tell me. I want to say it again so I can enjoy it next time. Right? Apathy just pisses me off to no end because the one thing I've never been is apathetic. Apathy should be added to, it should be 8 deadly sins. Actually, I think it is one of the deadly. Yeah, sloth is the same thing. Right? Apathy is horrible. You develop whatever passion you can develop something for. You can take that through your whole life. Everything you do, you can put that passion into. Now, I draw passion in Romania from the music industry because I've never seen musicians with the passion for what they do anywhere like this. A lot of athletes don't have passion for what they do. They like the green stuff. or they have aspirations for something great. They don't do it for the love of what they're doing. As you well know, I'm a wrestling fan. Well, the WWE today, I would prefer to call it the WWF. It just sucks, except for the women's division. The women have passion for what they're doing. The men suck. Man, it's like, seriously, they're so busy trying to get the accolades of the crowd for the really cool move they did. It puts me to sleep. I can't watch it, but I can go back 20 years and it's fabulous because these guys had passion. Yesterday I was watching a video on my wind down time, and it was on the greatest promo guys in wrestling. And one of them is a manager by the name of Paul Heyman. And he said something so profound in the 90s. He said, I lie all the time because that's the only thing people will believe is lies. They don't want to hear the truth. And isn't that so cool, right? There's a guy with great vision, but his passion for what he does, man, he loves what he does. And it just shines through every part of him. But I look at, like, one of the top guys, I look at a man like Brock Lesnar, I see no passion in him at all. He's going through the motions. I think the last professional wrestler I saw any passion in was John Cena, and I was not a John Cena fan, but he had passion for what he did. The others are just going through the motions. I went through the motions at Chrysler. How do you have passion for putting a bolt on and going to tighten it up? Right? Now, they tried to create passion in their employees. I'll give them that, but yeah, that's not going to work. I find passion in listening to and watching people perform music here, because you can see it in the passion in their face. They love what they do, and I can bring that into what I do. And it's inspiring to do that. Now, that's not the path for everybody, obviously. Everybody's going to have their own path to be inspired. But as we go back into the time when I plugged that VHS tape in, watching the X-Files and thinking, is this all there is? I can remember seeing a Tony Robbins infomercial for his personal power CDs at that point in time, because it was before the DVDs came out. I had his DVDs. But in every way he closed, every infomercial was to live with passion. And I always remember that. I can hear him say it, and he had passion in his voice. And today, if you see Robbins, he still has passion. It's not an act, because an act is easy to see through. Just food for thought today, guys. What inspires you? What's your passion? Have a great day.